Hey everybody, Mark Whitaker here, your early retirement advisor. And today I'm going to go over something that everyone who's looking to retire early or retire period needs to consider. That's how to create a retirement budget. I'm going to show you the method that I prefer and that I've used with hundreds of people who are preparing for retirement. It's a five-step method. I call it the top-down method. The first thing, really easy, is to ask yourself, how much money is hitting your bank account right now each month? So after taxes, after you've made retirement contributions, health insurance, everything that comes out of your paycheck, what is that dollar amount that actually hits your bank account each month? Okay, got that number in mind? The next step is to ask yourself, is there any money left over at the end of the month? Okay, if the answer is yes, then we know that probably this number is a number that you could live on in retirement, right? Okay, so now this is obviously, there's a lot of things that would change this, so let's go through the other steps. But if you've gotten to this point, at a minimum, you have this number of, hey, I know that I can live on this number. It may not be the number that you want to live on or necessarily, but you have this starting point. So now let's make adjustments considering how things are going to change once you've retired. The first thing is subtract out any additional investing that you're doing above and beyond items that come out before you receive your paycheck. So let's say that you're making 401k contributions. Okay, don't think about those. But let's say that after you get paid every month, you take a portion of that money and you invest it into a brokerage account or into a Roth IRA, for example. Okay, so those are the categories that let's subtract out. So let's say you get $10,000 in your account each month, but then from there, you put $1,000 into a brokerage account. Okay, you don't actually need $10,000. $9,000 would do, because when you're retired, you're not going to be making these, you're not going to take money out of your investments just to turn around and put it back in. Remember, in retirement, you're spending down, or you're living off of your portfolio and other investments, other assets. And so those portions that you're putting in, you don't need to consider those once you're in retirement. The next step is think about kind of those obvious things that you anticipate will change once you're retired. For example, let's say that right now part of your retirement plan is to have your home paid off before you retire. So let's say that you're on track to do that. So for your retirement budget, subtract out that mortgage payment that you would normally make, because you won't have that. Obviously, in the example of a house, you're going to have to consider things like your property taxes, maintenance, homeowners insurance, but you can adjust that needed monthly income based on how that expense is probably going to be different when you're retired. Other things that might come to mind are, maybe right now you love to travel, but because of your work responsibilities, you don't get to travel as much as you'd like. And when part of your plans for retirement are to do more travel. So factor that in. Say, okay, I want to have this extra amount each year, and now build that into your budget. Okay, so now we know you've started with a number that you know you can live on. You took your monthly income, you subtracted out things that are going to be different once you're retired, and you've come up with this number. The final step is to sleep on it. Okay, look at that number, think about it, and probably after you've thought about that number for a couple of days or at least overnight, you might think of, oh, hey, I didn't think about this, and you'll come up with additional adjustments that might be realistic. Or if you're married, you talk about this with your partner, your spouse, and and see what their input is on this number, if it's really realistic. And then what I always like to do is to just add a little bit extra above and beyond this number that you feel good about, because life has curveballs or, frankly, fun opportunities that you might want to take advantage of, and a little bit extra cash each month is something that you're not going to be upset about if you have it when you're retired. So I hope this helps. Any questions, reach out to me, and wish you the best in your plans for an early retirement.